I'm going to show you the quickest way to destroy your Google Ads performance. So if you're not wanting to destroy your Google Ads performance, keep watching. The reason that this person destroyed their Google Ads performance is because of a topic that's often discussed when it comes to Google Ads, and they went from a 6x ROAS to a 1x return on ad spend. And this discussion is always just kind of black and white. And they never really talk about the nuance as to which this particular issue needs to be resolved. I'm going to walk you through that in this video because this person made this mistake and basically took them from a 6x return on ad spend to a 1x return on ad spend pretty much overnight and destroyed their accounts. If you don't want to make this mistake, keep watching. Often the discussion is you should have brand in your Performance Max campaigns or you shouldn't have brand in your Performance Max campaigns. What people often do is they'll set up a campaign and they'll call it a cold campaign because it's Performance Max, and Performance Max is supposed to be a prospecting campaign. PMax optimizes for the easiest conversion, right? So it will focus on driving you as many conversions as possible, and it will go about it in a way where it will just try and find the easiest traffic to convert possible. What happened with this particular account is they were spending month on month, $10K a month on Performance Max. They kept spending. And what they were noticing is that over the period of time that they were looking at, they were able to identify that brand was driving a lot of their conversions inside the Performance Max campaign. So if you're not aware, you can actually go inside your Performance Max campaign and look at the keywords you're targeting. And so therefore you can actually sort that by conversion value, so your revenue, and you can actually look at which search terms are driving the most amount of revenue. And so they saw that over a period of time that the brand name was driving around 50 to 65% of the revenue for the Performance Max campaign, which is an issue because when you're spending on traffic, particularly traffic that you're labeling cold, you want that to be cold. Now, every branded search is not always returning an existing customer. However, if it's taking up 50, 60% of your conversions for your cold campaign, then that is an issue. So what was happening here is that they were converting mostly on brand. So they excluded brand. They just blanket excluded brand and then just kept carrying on as if that was going to solve their issues, which it doesn't. So one of the reasons that doesn't is because you've spent on this campaign over a period of time. And so this campaign has learnt to find conversions in that manner over that period of time. And so the algorithm has been finding conversions in that manner over that period of time. And so if you just blanket exclude brand and basically cut the snake off at the head, you will destroy that campaign. And if your entire account is predicated on the performance of that campaign, then you are going to destroy your account. So this particular campaign takes up about 80% of the spend for the account. The only other campaigns that are set up there are branded campaigns for shopping and search. And so they went from a 6x return on ad spend to a 1x return on ad spend overnight. As you can see here, February, 6x return on ad spend. You can see we'll just look at January and February together, 5.27 overall, relatively decent. Their target is a 4. But as you look here, in March, they've gone down to a 1.63x return on ad spend, and they made the change at the beginning of March. And so what should you do instead of excluding brand, just excluding brand and just hoping for the best overnight? What you should do instead is that you should supplement that Performance Max campaign with some other cold campaigns. And so instead of cutting that PMax campaign off at the head or the source of that conversions or those conversions, you should be teaching the algorithm what a conversion looks like and what cold traffic looks like, bringing more cold traffic into the algorithm to actually retarget to, because PMax acts like a really good tool at that second, third, fourth click. Because believe it or not, when people are searching for things on Google, they will search 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 10 times, even more than that, right? And PMax is a really good tool at picking up those secondary clicks, those third clicks, those fourth clicks. And so if you bring in more cold traffic and more first click traffic into the particular Google ad account, PMax, that will act as sort of an honesty system for PMax to focus on that traffic and retarget to that traffic, right? And so over time, you'll start to find keywords, or you'll start to bring in traffic that will teach the Performance Max campaign to focus on newer customer traffic over time, right? You're kind of changing what the algorithm looks like inside your account. And the reason that you want to do it that way is because whenever you take over an account, you should not just come in and exclude brand straight off the bat, or you should not come in and just make major changes to the sources of the conversions for the account. That's essentially what you do not want to do, because over time, especially with a high spending account, it will have learnt what a conversion looks like through whatever it has been doing over that period of time. So if you just, go in and make massive overhauls like this, you will essentially destroy performance like this account has. And so whenever you're taking over an account, or whenever an account is being taken over, you essentially want to protect what's working, whatever the source of conversion is. You want to protect that, and then you want to add to that, right? And that's a way of being non-disruptive, and you'll actually get better performance overall for the account by doing that. So what you would do in this particular instance is you would leave everything the same. You would ideally have left brand in the Performance Max campaign for that period of time, but added new cold traffic to the account. So through shopping, through search on high intent terms, bring cold traffic in, because you can exclude website visitors, you can exclude your brand name from those campaigns, ensuring that it's new customer traffic, and therefore teaching the algorithm what a conversion looks like, a new customer conversion looks like, and also bringing more traffic to the Performance Max campaign to retarget to, and therefore changing what the source of conversion is for that Performance Max campaign over time. So then, 2 months down the track, then you can look at excluding brand from that Performance Max campaign, because it's no longer 50 to 65% of the conversion volume of that Performance Max campaign, right? So that's when you can start to make those adjustments, not straight off the bat. And that's kind of the learning of this, is that if you make major overhauls to the conversion source, whether it's excluding brand, whether it's turning off a campaign that's underperforming without looking into the details of why it's underperforming, whether it's excluding products that are really well selling because for whatever reason, that's probably a bad example, but you just want to protect what the source of conversion is, and then add more sources to the mix. So that's the number one mistake that I see people make, is that they're quite volatile in the way that they treat a Google Ads account, and the algorithm is actually real. That's kind of the learning of this, is that people often think that, algorithms are just like BS made up by media buyers in order for them to buy time, but essentially it actually is real. I have seen accounts many times perform better over time because of the algorithm is able to learn what a conversion looks like, especially a new customer conversion, as you start to spend on new customer traffic versus spending on bottom of funnel branded traffic. So don't make this mistake. Don't just blanket exclude brand if you've been spending considerably on that campaign and it is a major source of conversions over time. Add more campaigns to that, and maybe reduce budget on that Performance Max campaign that you are spending majority on brand for. You want to have conversion data inside the account, even if it is bottom of funnel conversion data to start with. You just need to teach the algorithm what a conversion looks like. If you enjoyed this video, I have plenty more on my channel just like this, where I go into accounts and show you the exact issues that people face and why they're unable to be successful with Google Ads. There will be a document available at the bottom of this video that walks you through how we set up Google Ads accounts for scale. You can access at the link below this video.